About 4 months ago, I made a video where I went over TF2's most famous items, and you guys really seemed to like that video. So today, I had the idea to make a video going over TF2's least known items that even you have probably never heard of before. Because when I was doing research for this video, I came across items that I straight up forgot existed. And I even found stuff that I've never seen before. Like, what is this? I had absolutely no idea what it was. But today, we're going to find out the answer to this question and many more. Before we get into it, I have a Discord server where I keep you guys updated on all things SlideFN. So if you guys want to join it, a link to it will be in the description. And without further ado, let's get started. Chemistry sets were added back in 2013 and dropped in the game for about 2 years. Every chemistry set is associated with a specific item, and when you opened a chemistry set, it would bring you to a crafting recipe. If you put in a certain amount of that item that the set is associated with, it would give you a strangifier of that item, which you can then apply that strangifier to that item. Christmas of that year, the collector's item quality was added, and then Valve changed all future chemistry sets to drop a collector's version of that item instead of a strangifier for that item. These chemistry sets are very rare and expensive since they were only able to be dropped for about 2 years, and collector's quality items are also extremely expensive as a result of that. Halloween spells can be considered as an obscure item because 1, not a lot of people know about them aside from some traders and veterans of the game, and 2, they haven't been dropping since Halloween of 2015. Spells were added back in 2012 and were acquired through haunted Halloween gifts inside of certain Halloween maps. Once you obtained a spell, you could apply it to things such as cosmetics and weapons to give them certain effects. For example, if you apply Voices from Below to a team captain, the soldier that is wearing that team captain
will then sound like this.
And if you applied pumpkin bombs to a rocket launcher, the projectiles would look like this. In 2015, spells were replaced with the Soul Gargoyle, and after the Halloween event was over, all unused spells were removed from players' inventories. The items with applied spells, however, are very rare and expensive, and even some communities were formed solely around trading and pricing spelled items. These crates were added long ago, and they were associated with certain in-game events. These were for Scream Fortress, these were for summer events, Christmas events, etc. Now they can no longer be opened and are purely decorative items in your inventory. The Pocket Lint, Goldfish, Cheese Wheel, Banana Peel, Barn Door Plank, Secret Diary, and Damage Capacitor were all added during the June 19, 2012 update. When the Pyromania update came out, these all turned into the Charred Pocket Lint, Roasted Goldfish, Smoked Cheese Wheel, Burnt Banana Peel, Incinerated Barn Door Plank, Fireproof Secret Diary, and the Barely Melted Capacitor were crafting items that could be used during the duration of the Pyromania update to make, which could then be turned into, which were able to be opened with, which we already talked about in the Unopenable crate section, so let's move on. The Manco painting set is an item that, upon using it, gives you 3 random cans of paint. It was added in the March 12, 2013 patch, and is only obtainable through 1 crate. The paints that are possible to be obtained through the painting set can only be the ones that can be dropped through the random drop system, so no hot pink or lime green unfortunately, just these right here. The Unusual Cap is a hat given to players who got their unusual effect added into the game by Valve. The hat is given to them with their effect on it, and seeing it warm in game is pretty cool, especially if it's a god tier effect. That's how you really know you're playing with the guy that made that effect. The Lo-Fi Longwave is a hat given to players that participate in events or win giveaways on Critcast. Critcast is a podcast that has been running for over a decade now, and lots of these hats have been given out to numerous different players. The Finder's Fee is a hat given to players that find and report a game-breaking bug to Valve. A player once reported a bug where they could give themselves any weapon they wanted, including weapons from Man vs. Machine that could be used by robots, which resulted in him getting the finder's fee because he was a good citizen and reported it to Valve. There are only very few of these in existence, and they haven't been dropped to anyone in years. I'll put in a list of every single finder's fee owner in the description. The costume transmogrifier was an item released back in Halloween of 2013, which was obtainable through haunted Halloween gifts. Each class had their own transmogrifier, and it was used to turn Halloween 2013 cosmetic pieces into other costume pieces for that class. These items expired after the event and were never added back again. The strange bacon grease was added in 2013 and was obtained through opening crate number 50. When you use this on a unique frying pan, it would turn into a strange frying pan. These can still be used to this day and are very expensive nowadays. You're better off just buying a normal strange frying pan. Salvage crates were Manco supply crates that had a very rare chance to drop in game. These are mechanically the same as normal crates and are opened with normal Manco supply crate keys. Crates number 30, 40, and 50 were considered as salvage crates, and if you want to open one of these today, be prepared to dump an unreasonable amount of money on it. The secret reserve supply crate functioned the same as salvage crates. They had a rare chance to be dropped in game than other supply crates and can still be opened today, just they're very expensive to do so. The bread box was added in the Love and War update and was able to be crafted with 3 pieces of headwear during that update span. These can now no longer be crafted since the recipe was removed from the game on July 10th of that year, but when you open a bread box, you would get one of 4 bread weapons inspired by the bread monster from Expiration Date. These also had a chance to be strange too. These didn't require a key to open, and they can also still be opened to this day, again, for a very unreasonable price. The Manco audition reel was a crate added to TF2 that only dropped taunts from the Love and War update. These taunts had the possibility to be unusual and can still be opened today. The Manco Director's Cut was a crate that dropped one of 4 taunts that, when you typed in a random code of your choice, would change to different random taunts. This is very unique because this was the only crate that had this feature, and it was never seen again in future crates. Noisemakers are weird items that played a certain noise that would be able to be heard by everyone in a server when activated. They were originally added during the first Scream Fortress update and were obtained if you purchased them from the Manco store. They only had 25 uses and came in all kinds of different sounds. You also get free noisemakers every TF2 birthday and Christmas event for free. You don't really see these used very often nowadays unless it's being used by a bot, but other than that, this item can go pretty unnoticed. The Rift Well-Spun Hat Claim Code was an item that you would get in TF2 when you got the Rift Walker achievement before November 2nd, 2011. When you used the item, it would give you a code that you could use in Rift to get the well-spun hat in Rift. This is a weird item when it comes across promotional stuff, and we haven't seen anything like this ever since. The Director's Vision is a taunt that was added during the replay update. It was obtained by getting the Star of My Own Show achievement, which is pretty much impossible because, for one, the replay system is broken, and 2, most Valve servers don't even record your replays. So that means you have to go onto a community server and find a server that allows you to edit replays and then go from there. Or you can just join an achievement server and do !all or something. Oh yeah, unusualifiers can be applied to these too, but the taunt isn't tradable. So if you apply an unusualifier and you get a bad effect, it's stuck there forever. The Dueler is a hat that can be obtained if you have the most duel wins in the game within a 24-hour period. So if I were to win 500 duels in one day, and the second closest to me was 400, I would get the Dueler hat. I would be able to keep that hat for 24 hours before it moved on to the next player that got the most amount of duels that day. However, if I kept getting more and more duel wins than everybody else every day, I could keep the hat for multiple days in a row. The hat is paintable and nameable, and all the paint and name tags will carry on to the next person. There are only 2 other hats like this in the game, which are which behaves the same as the Dueler, except I have to send more gifts than everyone else in one day. And the last hat that behaves like this is which you get if you buy more map stands than everyone else in one day. These are the only 3 hats that behave like this, and you don't really hear much about them nowadays. Who knows, maybe I'll try to get one. And that is my list of TF2's most obscure items. If you guys know any items that I missed, drop them down in the comments below. I would love to hear them. Anyways guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Discord server link is in the description below. I love you guys. Peace out. Have